So in this video, we'll be looking into the primitive and the non-primitive data types, and what is the scene about how we can compare the both type of data type. I mean data types. So if you have done like something like you want to compare some primitive data types. So let's say let me just pull out the documentation. So these are the like primitive data types according to the JavaScript. That strings, number, big integer, boolean, undefined, null, symbol. These are all the primitive data types, right? And all the objects, because all the objects arrays and all, because arrays are at the end of the day, they are objects only. So objects are actually known as non-primitive data types, right? So let's say I want to compare two primitive data types. So let's say log of two, right? So you will see that it is giving me true, right? Because two is actually these are, I mean, these are doing a strict check, right? But uh, let's say obj1 equal to name 812. Okay. Uh, and then let obj2 name will be same. And let's say I want to log obj1 triple equal to obj2. Okay. So it will give me false, right? Because what happens is JavaScript JavaScript uh, checks the uh, actually the location, the memory allocation. So this, even if the values of the object are same, uh, in the memory, it is actually allocating the object one is being allocated to another space, and object two is in completely another space. I mean, they are completely different in case of JavaScript because they are like completely different in the case of storage. So that's why we actually can't compare them. So even if I do a double equal to, it will still give me false because there's no way you can actually compare two objects because they are actually pointing to two different locations of your memory allocations. I mean your storage, right? Uh, so even if the content is same, but you can't actually they are different. I mean, even if you, it's not about only objects. So uh, let's say I want to give the array, let's say uh, 1 and 2, okay, and then object 2 as let's say 1 comma 2. So because, so it will still give me false, right? Because this is also, end of the day, it is an object only. I mean, the even if it's array, but it is object only, right? So it is ultimately a non-primitive data type, right? So that's why the non-primitive data type, you can't actually compare the non-primitive data types because they are, even if the values are same, but they are in the different memory, I mean locations, and you can't actually compare them. So yeah, this was the basic idea about the how how can you actually compare the uh, primitive and the non-primitive data types in the case of equality operator, right? So yeah,